Welcome back to Straight Facts with Lee Gunner. How are you, my friend?
I'm very well, mate. Surviving the alleged heat wave.
Are you? Is it a heat wave where you are?
No, it's just summer.
Spain, just Spain, yeah.
It's just summer. Yeah, I've seen somebody sent me. My mate's on. He's getting a flight in a couple of hours, and he said, "Oh, yeah, it's all over the news, mate. It's like 46 degrees now." I'm like, "What are you chatting about? It's 29." It's 29.
You know what's crazy as well? Have you seen all those pictures of like from 1995 when the temperature was 30 degrees, and they show it as like dark green and orange, and they take this lower temperatures now in 2023 and they show it as scorching hot like red grounds to make you more panicky. It's the same heat. Viewers, loads to talk about on the show today. We're talking Maguire. Could he be on his way to Chelsea now that Fofana is out? We're talking about Hojlund, imminent bid closing in from Manchester United. Danny Olmo to Man City potentially, according to some reports today. Caicedo and Chelsea's situation. I want to get Lee Gunner's take on that because Caicedo's getting angry. Chelsea are getting frustrated. They still haven't got it done. And Brighton have rejected another bid. And we are looking at Arsenal and Lavia and a potential £35 million done deal for the Gooners as well. Hit like buttons. Make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you are turning on the bell notifications as well. But I wanted to start off with a little bit of Chelsea to begin with today, actually. So Wesley Fofana, I don't know, have you seen the news about Fofana?
Yeah,
ACL out for the season. And I personally think that's the end of Fofana now as an elite level football player because too many major injuries too young. I don't think he will ever be the same player again. But that's a year out. Chelsea now in a I wouldn't say in a huge trouble. I'm not going to state that, but they definitely need to go into the market. It probably stops any hope Brighton or Liverpool have got of Levi Colwill leaving. There's no way they can let him leave now. But there's talk. Sky Sports have put this out, so this isn't a Terry Flewers clickbaiter, that Chelsea are considering entering the race with West Ham, Tottenham and Newcastle for Harry Maguire. Talk to me.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. Well... What do you want me to say? I mean, come on. Out of all the defenders on the planet, they could be signing him. Like
maybe.
And the funny thing about it is like they're trying to get as many younger players into their team as possible, right? And he's 30 years old. But then I suppose they're looking at it from the sense of like he's international. He plays every game for England, plays for Man United, captain Man United for 3.5 years. Maybe they're just thinking a bit of backup for the two that they've got, Thiago Silva and Levi Colwill. So I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one. I can't lie. Yeah, I suppose he does bring experience, but he brings experience in getting relegated and having like 20-minute compilations of his cock-ups.
It's. Do you know what? Look, it is a mad one. But the fact that Newcastle, Tottenham, you could look, West Ham being linked to him makes sense because I think that's his level. But the fact that Tottenham and Newcastle are also looking at him, they must think they can get him to his England levels because for England, he's great. They must think they can get him to his England levels. And maybe it's just a loss of confidence at Man United. For me, the fact that 4 teams are in for him is music to my ears because that means we're going to get a little bit of money for him. We're never going to get the £85 million back, but we might pick up 30, 35, 40 million now to reinvest if indeed these 3 or 4 clubs are interested. So listen, I'm hoping and I'm praying and I'm begging this is true because we need to raise as much money as we can to keep buying people. So listen, Maguire to Chelsea, I'm all up for that.
Keeping him then? You don't fancy him for next season then, so?
Nah.
Why not?
Nah.
Listen,
look.
Everything we just said about him, about like if he can get to his England levels and that, so maybe he can do that next season. If Ten Hag's the genius we've been told he is, then surely he can get a tune out of Harry Maguire.
No, so you know me, right? I'll answer that one. You know, like people turn around. I remember Liverpool fans doing this thing where they were like, Jurgen Klopp can make any player world class. Why did he sell the whole squad he inherited then? the nonsense, right? It's and that's not a dig at Klopp. It's a dig at people that hold that weird opinion. Sometimes you can't get blood from a stone, and I think that with the lack of confidence he has at the club, of course, ruthlessly being stripped of his captaincy, being fifth choice, being behind Luke Shaw, who's a left back in a centre back role, I just don't think you can mentally recover from all of that. I think if you go somewhere else, that adage of change is as good as a rest, I think you could get a very good Maguire back. I just don't think you can do that at Manchester United. So I think there's a player in there. I think there's a decent player in him. I just don't think we'll ever see that player again. Listen, his first 18 months at Man United, I was very happy with him. So I know there's a player there. I like him in an England shirt. He very rarely puts a foot wrong. I just don't think he's right for Man United. But I do think a Maurizio Pochettino system, I believe with Thiago Silva next to him as an example, Caicedo and Enzo in front of him, I think he could do bits at Chelsea. And they should be looking at a 45, 50 million pound investment here. They've got the money. Todd B's got it. It'd be fantastic business for Chelsea. They could reignite him. And then when he delivers, they can laugh at Man United for giving away a great asset. So Chelsea fans, get behind this deal. Support your club in getting Maguire into Chelsea. Because I think
you're Maguire's agent.
I could be.
Mate, the way you've just sales pitched me with that sales pitch was perfect, Terry. I'm sold. I'll sign him.
Mate, it's what I do. Listen, I could be an agent. Give me the access, and I'll influence people. It's easily done. Do you know what I mean? You've got the marketability, the England fan base.
Captain.
Like, you know what I mean? Mate, do you know what I'm saying?
Like England captain, Kane, isn't he? Kane's captain.
Yeah, but he's like vice captain. He's like on that level. He's captain material.
He's the captain without the armband.
Exactly. And listen, everyone knows, right? You've never seen me do one single piece of negative content on this guy. That's how much I rate him. It's just unfortunate that his confidence has fallen. And I want Maguire to leave because I want his confidence to come back. I want him to find himself again.
Set pieces as well.
Mate, when he and what you can do, Chelsea, you can run the love train set piece from England. You can get his big old slab head on the ball, boom, goal, back of the net. Listen, they've got to get it done. Chelsea, but Chelsea are a weird one because have you seen all the news today about the Caicedo deal as well?
They've had their bid rejected, which was the same amount that we had rejected in January, right? It's a bit crazy, isn't it? Right? Like it's quite obvious they need that player, or a player like him to go next to Enzo because they ain't got anyone else. Yeah, Conor Gallagher's linked with West Ham. Apparently, he's agreed personal terms or something. So they've got rid of Kovacic. They've got rid of Mason Mount. They need a midfielder. So it's a bit surprising that they haven't just gone and said, "Okay, cool, we'll give you 80 or 90 or whatever it may take to get it over the line," because they will get it over the line. And it's the same with the Rice deal. Like you want the player, you need the player. Eventually, you're going to pay the money. So why don't you just pay the money? Like similar, because Man City put the bid in, so I kind of get it. But with Chelsea, nobody's in for him other than Chelsea. So what? Are they just going to wait and then hope that Brighton just go, "Oh, okay, you can have him for that then." I think Brighton will be quite happy to keep him.
Yeah, look, I understand. I was going to ask you, actually, do you feel this, because I know you were calling out Arsenal, your own club, over Rice, go and pay the money now, what are you diddling around for? You feel the same way with Chelsea?
100%. They need the player. He makes them better. He gets in the team. Like, he's not a bench player. He's straight in the team. Go and pay the money. They've got the money. They've recouped in over 200 million already this summer. So there's no reason for them not to be going out there and just getting it done. Right? You know it's going to cost around 80 to 90 million, maybe with add-ons as well. Let's just go and pay it. It makes no sense to me. Yeah, because Declan Rice is gone, so they can't get him. Lavia, for me, ain't good enough to start week in, week out for a top 16. Not yet, anyway. Yeah, he's more of a backup player. So he's the only one out there that's obvious. So just go and pay it.
I also feel, listen, I get where you're coming from. I do feel that Brighton, they were taking the piss. I feel, people always go on about players not being loyal. What about clubs? This guy has given them the best 18 months any midfielder in their history has given them. Got them into Europe, got them to an FA Cup semi-final. Has acted professionally. He's carried on working when he wanted to go to Arsenal. A team's offering 80 million inclusive of add-ons. The player's own agent is saying we don't even think he's worth that much. He's had 18 months of elite level football. and they're trying to get Declan Rice money. There's almost this, this is why we say to football fans, we always have a go at players for not being loyal. But where's the loyalty and the respect being shown to Caicedo from Brighton in terms of being fair with his price, being respectful, and the fact that yes, Chelsea are only bidding around what Arsenal bid, but this is still more than even the agent and player himself believes he is worth, and they're almost sitting there thinking, why is anyone going to pay £100 million for me when I'm not worth £100 million? And I get Brighton trying to drive a hard bargain, but I just think football fans have got to be a little bit more balanced when it comes to this respect situation, because they expect players to be respectful and their agents to be respectful, but yet they don't. No one seems to mind when a club completely disrespects a player, prices them out of a move, drags things on. And there's a big hold up in this is the fact that Chelsea won't sell him Levi Colwill, and Chelsea are saying, but he's not for sale. Like we'll talk money, but we're not going to give you a player that we see as the future of our defense, which is strange because Brighton fans and Brighton's media were attacking Arsenal in January for trying to buy a player they weren't willing to sign. Now they're doing exactly the same thing, and for some reason that's seen as acceptable. And that's the only bit that annoys me with this. Listen, I rate Brighton as a club, but it's the hypocrisy in terms of the way, for instance, Arsenal were treated trying to sign Caicedo. It was looked at as disrespectful that they would ever try and sign a player that wasn't for sale. But Brighton are doing the exact same thing, and everybody seems to be ignoring it. It's just a little bit frustrating to me personally.
Well, every player's for sale. Every player's got a price. Yeah, it's just, and if you want, and at the end of the day, I agree with some of what you said about Brighton, right, and respecting that, but he didn't have to sign a new contract in January. Nobody put a gun to his head and said, you've got to sign it. They gave him a pay rise, and then said to him, apparently a gentleman's agreement that he can go if the right fee comes in. Well, he's their player. They can charge what they want. If Chelsea, it's not like they've gone to Chelsea and said, oh, would you like Caicedo? Chelsea have gone and said, we want him. Cool, we'll pay us what we want then. Yeah, so it does work both ways, though. I do get what you're saying, but at the same time, every single player has a price. And if Brighton don't believe that Chelsea are meeting the price, then that's down to them. They'll keep him. He's under contract for 4 years. Yeah, and let's be real here, right? This happens so many times, Terry. It happens all the time. It's not just a new thing that's happened since January. This happens and has happened for years gone by. I remember when Figo went to Real Madrid from Barca. Have you watched the documentary? Have you seen that? Like all the drama in that deal. Like, mate, that was crazy. That was 20 odd years ago.
What deal was that? The Figo deal?
Figo to Real Madrid. When he's holding up the Madrid shirt, he looked petrified. Literally like he was there like he'd been kidnapped. So we know shady stuff goes on behind the scenes, and clubs like, try and stitch players up, or, players trying. We know that's gone on forever. It's what it is. At the end of the day, he signed a contract in January on new money, like more wages. And let's be real, Brighton were going to always get profit on him. They paid £4.5 million for him. But this is the problem I have with Brighton. Brighton are going to go and get all this money in for McAllister and him, and they've already bought a couple of players that are worth similar money to what they bought McAllister and Caicedo for. And this is why I don't take them seriously, because if they were serious, they would have gone and spent all of the money, and added that to what they already had as a budget, and then they try and take it seriously next season and go for a trophy or get in the top four or do something rather than just going round and round and round, because eventually you run out of finding gems. Look at Southampton.
Well, they've spent 57 million so far, which is they're getting towards their biggest ever outlay. But let's see what they do after Caicedo, as you say. But with him and McAllister gone, you're raising 120 odd million pounds. You'd expect them to go and spend some money and improve some areas. Guna Dan here says Brighton are being smart. Chelsea need Caicedo.
Facts. Yep, facts.
Maybe, listen, it's going to be interesting. Where do you think this ends up? Because a lot of the journalists are saying it will end around about 80 million. This 100 million is like nonsense. It won't happen. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd say 80 to 90. Yeah, with add-ons included. But yeah, we all know it's going to be around 80 to 90. We've known this all January. And it's kind of funny as well, because the same newspaper, online newspaper, The Athletic, posted out in January that Arsenal had kept good relations with Brighton. Right? The same newspaper outlet the other day said we didn't keep good relations with Brighton. They're extremely upset with the way we handled it in January. So when were they lying? Were they lying in January, or are they lying now? Do you know what I mean? But people don't hold people accountable for this crap, Terry, yeah? So again, with this, was it all a lie? Do they want 100 million? Do they want 80 million? Like, because we've heard from January, they want 100 mil. I'm still seeing the same stories now. They want 100 mil. He ain't going for 100 mil.
Mm.
Yeah, but I understand why them stories are easy to write, because Enzo went for 106. Rice has gone for 105. So it's easy to write that story and say, well, they want 100 mil.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I hear you on that. Guna Dan here says, Lee, don't be negative. We want to encourage this. Talk about the Maguire thing. Yeah.
Yeah, mate. Well, listen, Terry's sales pitch has worked, mate.
There we go. This is Maguire can happily go to Chelsea or Spurs. Yes, he can. I hope he does.
They both need a centre back.
Well, you saw today.
Imagine him and Dyer together, mate. Oh my!
Did you see Spurs today? I watched their game actually.
I tuned into a bit of Henry's watch along, and I just when I. Because I loaded YouTube and he was live and I see it was 2-0. Didn't even know they were playing. I just went, West Ham are massive. Then I logged back in at 2-2. I was like, oh, no, man. And then his father-in-law texted me, said, yeah, 3-2, because he's a West Ham fan, his father-in-law. He texted me and said 3-2.
You know what's really funny about it, right? Is the
mate. Let's be real.
Oh, this is what's funny about watching the game. The football looked great. But they lost 3-2. They couldn't score.
But that's what will happen. That will happen all season to them, mate. They'll play better football. They'll get all hyped to go and slap a few teams 4 or 5. Yeah, they'll get gassed. Then they'll go and lose 3-2, but dominate 72% of the ball, tiki-taka football. Then ultimately, they've got Richarlison in their team who ain't good enough.
Rob,
and if Harry Kane goes, they've got to go and replace him.
Some of the Spurs fans online, I already saw it. They were like, we're cooking, we're doing this, we're doing that. And I just... This is the same fan base at the end of last season. Like, until their owners sell, we're never going to back another team.
Mate, Henry sat on his watch along, and I swear this is what he said, and I quote, yeah, Henry's in the mud fully with this. Yeah, the football's already better than it was under Conte. One pre-season game. And that was when it was 2-0 down.
Mate, it's
like, what are you doing?
You've got to remember about most Spurs.
This is why the owner takes the mick out of them.
Well, this is the thing. Most Spurs fans, and I don't put X in this, but most Spurs fans I know, in the cold, hard light of day, their expectations are so honestly, they're deeper than the Titanic. They're deeper than the Titanic, their expectations. And as long as that football, they're like magpies. Honestly, they should be called the Magpies, not Newcastle. If it's pretty and shiny, it doesn't matter whether it's a diamond or a piece of tinfoil, they're happy. And as long as their football looks nice, win, lose, or draw, a diamond or a piece of tinfoil, they don't care. They never have and they never will. That's just where they are as a football club. Always the bridesmaids.
They're so easy to convince about anything. It's like, they're all posting, oh yeah, Ange, oh yeah, look at the ball, look at the ball, Ange ball. It's like, mate, it's a pre-season game against West Ham. Relax. Like you're gonna get the 3-2 loss and sit there and try and hype up the manager after one game that you've seen him in. Like that makes no sense to me. But this is what Tottenham do. They gassed up Antonio Conte when he came in. Yeah, rightly so, because he had a proven track record of winning, by the way. Yeah, but again, they were very reactionary with it. Yeah, towards the end as well, because they sacked him in 4th. He was 4th when they sacked him. He probably would have got 4th if they'd kept him. Yeah, because let's be real, as much as it was going south and he did deserve to get the sack in the end, if they had just kept him until the end of the season, they might have stayed in that top 4 and they definitely would have qualified for Europe. So, yeah, a bit weird, but it is what it is. What's the matter, mate?
Just some breaking news. Real breaking. Unexpected news of the day. Jonny Evans has signed a short-term deal with Manchester United.
See you later.
What's going on? This can't be true.
Are you sure? Is that a wind-up?
Fabrizio said it.
Has he been hacked? Has he been hacked? Mate, what are you doing? And you were talking about your manager being ruthless, yeah? Good one. Yeah, all these people in the chat at the beginning going, oh, yeah, look, ruthless. Yeah, he's ruthless. Lee's in the mud. Really? Jonny Evans, yeah? How old is he? 49? 50?
Yeah. But what we'll say, he's better than Maguire, so it's an improvement. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, Chief. I'm not too sure. But do you know what it is? Do you know, it's funny. Just funny. We had no Premier League winners at the club anymore. He's a Premier League winner and an academy player. So he's like homegrown academy player, and he's got that winning experience. Oh my God.
So you've replaced Phil Jones with Jonny Evans. Your
oh,
banter.
No.
Peak banter.
Oh my God.
That's mad. That's insane.
I need to see the extent of this though, because I remember last year he hasn't put any other things into this. The reason I say that, it says this will enable Evans to take part in hang on. It says this will allow Evans to take part in preseason games. I've got a feeling this is going to be like a few month deal, so he can play in preseason for him and for in terms of just be there, and he'll probably find another. Let's just wait and see. I don't know, or there might be some player coach thing in there. But either way, I need more information before I judge it, because if this is who's replacing Maguire, Jesus Christ the Lord. I think it's just so he can play preseason. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe he needs a deal for insurance purposes and whatever else. So we will see. It's only so he can do preseason. Okay, fair enough. That's all coming out now.
For now, until he has a couple of preseason games, plays against us next week. Well, it's actually this week, isn't it? Is it this week or next week we play?
Saturday,
everyone will hype him up. Johnny's back. Yeah, and then the media team at United, I see all the fans hyping him up because he might score a header. They would make a goal line challenge, saves the game. And then we might as well keep him.
I haven't watched it for years because obviously I cancelled it because I'm a self-respecting Man United fan. But his wife is the main presenter of MUTV. Helen something. Oh, I bet Helen Evans is her name now, and I bet she's happy. She gets to go on pre-season tour of her husband. Do you know what I mean? He'll be loving it. But there we go. Jonny Evans is your new striker. Ha ha ha! Funny. Speaking of new strikers, the deal for Rasmus Hojlund is looking like it's very close. Personal terms done. £50 million that's going to cost Man United. Thoughts on that deal, Liam, your old mate?
Mad overrated.
Why?
Mad overrated. Way too clumsy. He's clumsy, man. He's big and he's fast, so he's going to score loads of goals. We know that. But from the clips I've seen, mate, he just looks so clumsy when he's got the ball. Like when he's running, just looks all over the gaff. And listen, he can obviously be nurtured and he can grow, but it's big pressure coming into Man United. Yeah, you're going into Man United who badly need goals. Yeah, now you've got to provide them. Yeah, and I don't think he's clinical enough to provide you what you need. Yeah, go and get somebody who's already done it. Yeah, I think you need somebody a little bit older. Yeah, and it's big money as well. Let's be real. He's only young, isn't he? So that's a lot of money, man. Like for somebody who's not really elite. Listen, I know he's got the potential. I'm not saying he ain't got potential because he has got potential. But for me, mate. Yeah, Sean said it in the chat. He scored 9 goals in a poor Italian league. Exactly. Now he's going to come and lead the line for Manchester United. Not too sure about that, mate. But listen, it depends. You never know. Some players fit like a glove. They go straight in and smash it. Other players, it takes some time and they never really do it, some of them. So we're going to see. But yeah, for me, that's a bit of a weird one, mate. I can't lie.
He's a player I like. He's a player I really rate. And I listen, there's definitely, when you watch clips and compilations, you're going to see clumsy moments. But you could now go onto Wisecout, and Wisecout's the best place for this. And you could find clumsy moments from Messi and then edit them together. A bit like people have done with the Onana compilation, some of his mistakes. Because all modern day goalkeepers make those kind of mistakes because the way they all play out from the back, it happens. But I think this kid is something special. I believe there's great talent in there. He holds the ball up very well, brings his teammates into play. He's got great speed. He's got brilliant power, and he's got a finish. He's got a finish on him now. It needs to be refined. I'm not denying that there isn't a rawness to it, and I do agree with you. I would like us to go out later in the summer and bring in a more experienced striker to play alongside him and to be in the squad with him. But in terms of this and I think there's 2 different ways of viewing this deal. There's signing him for £50 million. I think it's a brilliant piece of business, great investment for the here, now, and the future. Do I think we also need to add more to the team? Is he ready to be the out-and-out lead striker for Man United who could bang in 25 league goals? Probably not right now. However, I still think he will help us score. I still think he'll 15 league goals next year. I still think he'll be a good goal scorer. I think he'll go to another level.
You think how many goals?
I think at least 15 league goals will score next year.
15 league goals?
At least 15. I think you'll get at least 15 league goals next year. I
Somebody said in the chat that he played 1,800 minutes and got 9 goals. Well, that's hardly ripping up trees, is it?
Yeah, listen, I'm not denying.
When I look at strikers and I look at forward players that are playing different leagues, I always halve their goals when they come into the Premier League, because you ain't getting 20 yards of space to run into in the Premier League. Yeah, like that what's his name? The left winger at Napoli. The amount of goals I've seen him score where he's running 20 yards, dropping his shoulder and going past someone. You ain't getting 20 yards of space in this league. Yeah, and it's the same with strikers. Strikers and forward players tend to flop a hell of a lot more in the Premier League than any other positions on the pitch. Yeah, because you ain't getting the time and space. First touch, bang, they're on you. So if he scored 9 goals in 1,800 minutes, yeah, let's double the minutes. That'd be a full season pretty much. Double the goals, 18. Well, half it, he's back down to 9. He ain't getting 15 goals for you lot next season, mate. Yeah, if you are that's how I always work it out with the stats, yeah. Whether it's, do you know what? Right or not, I don't know.
I hear that. Do you know what I find really interesting is the comments. There's some people saying 15 isn't good enough, and then some saying 15 won't ever happen. He's not good enough to do it. So it's almost like what I would say about the people saying 15 isn't enough. Let me respond to a few of these. Firstly, you're not signing Hojlund to judge his entire Man United career in one season. He's not. For me, Hojlund's coming. So not Hojlund. Hojlund. You're judging him over the 5 or 6, 7, 8 years he stays at the football club. So year 1, if he gets 15 league goals, 21, 22 in all competitions, it's a good start. You have to then review his overall play, how he helps the team, and then you look for him to progress and move on from there. I think he can score that amount of goals. I think the talent is there, playing with better players around him. Yes, it's a more difficult league. And I get what your theory is. Whatever he gets, you half it when they come to the Premier League. But that doesn't always work out. Some players score the same and improve. I think he'll be a very good signing. This still kind of reminds me a little bit of Lisandro Martinez last year. When we signed Martinez, it's funny because it was on the Top 6 show last night and people were telling me that United squad is a lot better than everybody predicted it to be. And you've got Martinez and got this guy, got that guy. I said, yeah, but Martinez was laughed at as a signing this time last year. Too short, not in the Prem, not going to be good enough. And look, he was involved in some poor games for us, but overall, he was a very good centre-back, and I think he'll show another level this year. I think Hojlund's going to be very similar. I think he's going to come in, and I think he's going to prove a lot of people wrong. There's serious talent in here. He's been linked to a lot of the big clubs for a long time now. This isn't just someone whose name got...
Yeah, and there's a reason why none of them are brought in.
Well,
so if he's been linked to him for a long time and nobody's actually took the plunge to pay 50 million for him, there's a reason for that. Again,
but the reason though, but you have to, just like, I mean this with respect, Lee, just like you kind of assessed the Gea and goalkeeper situation. When I've read the full articles and reports on this kid, it's the Bruno Fernandes deal. Very, 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 very reminiscent of the Bruno Fernandes deal, where the Liverpools and the Barças were interested, but he told them, of course, via his agent, I only want to play for Man United, so they walked away. So I know a lot of people like to do that whole, well, who else is trying to buy him? But if the player tells other clubs, I'm not going to join you, I'm only joining this team, they pull away. And we've seen
I get that. But if all the big teams he's been linked to, he ain't said, oh, actually, I don't want to come to any of you, I'm waiting for United to come in. Now, come on. If Real Madrid wanted him, he's going Real Madrid.
Maybe, but this summer, Man United have come in for him, and that's where he's got his heart set on.
And you're paying.
PSG have come in for him this summer, and he said, "No, I want to go Man United." That is what he's asked for. So,
yeah, which is fair enough. But to me, like we said, he ain't a main striker at Man United. If Man United were actually serious about trying to win the league, they'd be all over Harry Kane, go and throw 100 million at Tottenham, and then go and get him as a backup.
But that's coming.
Well, you told me you were skint, so I don't know where you're getting all this money from suddenly.
Well,
you told me you had no money.
So again, if you actually go back and listen to what I said, Man United are not flush right now. We've got money because we're Man United, but we're not flush where we've got sort of 300 million pounds sitting there. What I've felt all summer Man United are doing, we had a budget and everybody said it's around 150-ish, and Mount cost 55. You've got the goalkeeper coming in 42, so we spent about 90 million there. This deal in British pounds, around 50 million euros. So you're again looking at about 40 odd million. So we're looking at a total spend there of about 130 million. Amrabat is who we're then going to go after. That's going to be a 20 to 25 million pound deal. So that's going to put us between that 150, 165 mark. That is the budget that everybody said we had, and it's probably true. Then what is going to come, in my opinion, is a sale of players. Maguire's, McTominay's, Fred's. I think Alex Telles is going to Saudi. That's going to raise a bit. Henderson's probably going to leave for about £20 million. We will raise, in my view, anywhere between 65 and 80 million pound from those player sales. Then I believe we will go for a star. Then I think we'll add a bit more money to it, and I think we'll go for a star player like a Harry Kane. For me, I believe what the club has done. And if this ends up not happening, this is fan theory, by the way. If we spent the whole summer in these negotiations, all you end up doing is making that price higher and higher and higher. I think we'll wait until later on in the window to make a move like that. We had to sell first. We've got to raise the money. And it's easier to do that when you said you've pulled out of a deal. That's what, and if it isn't Harry Kane, it will be somebody else. I do believe we'll get, and it might be in a different position, but we'll go and sign a star player later in the window. I really think we will do that. Same as I have the same belief with Arsenal. I think you guys are going to sign another top player this summer. Don't know who it's going to be yet, but I believe you'll make some sales. Could be you guys are going to make some sales, and then bang, you're going to go in for somebody else as well. There's almost like a eye of the storm, and I'm really confident with Man United summer. I think we've bought some brilliant players. Onana is transforming. I love the kid. I love the kid. I love him.
Nobody wanted to take a punt on him when he had that drugs ban, did they? So he ended up going to win that. Because I remember doing transfer videos saying, just go and sign him. Yeah, and everyone was going, oh yeah, but he's banned. He's banned. Well, it didn't stop Inter signing him, did it? And he was just played in the Champions League final, so he's done all right. Do you know what I mean? Now he's 40-odd million.
Mate, he's absolute. You'll think. Rom said, "You think we'll do that as well?" How you doing, Roms? Liverpool. Listen, Liverpool are so hard to judge as a football club. So hard to judge. But the reason I'm saying it about Man United is, even when it comes to the Amrabat situation, it's funny this summer because the Italian press said we were getting Kim, and it didn't happen. Those same outlets said we were getting Onana, and it has. Those same outlets have been ahead of the curve on Hojlund. They've been ahead of the curve on Amrabat. So they've got like 3 so far of the 4 right up to this point. And in my opinion, I actually think that Kim did agree personal terms with Man United. I just think when Bayern Munich came in, he picked them over us. Man United, though, just, again, they play it down with the British media. We were never in for him. No, we just got rejected in the end, and I can take that on the chin. But the way we're dealing with the Amrabat deal, it's almost United are interested, but until players are gone, they're not going to get involved. I like that way of working, because if we try and sell players now in a desperate attempt to get Amrabat, all that the teams trying to buy McTominay and Fred will do is lower their asking prices and make and force a desperate situation from us, which means we undersell players. Even like with the Maguire situation, the whole he's not really for sale. We want 50+ million. We're not actively trying to sell him. Of course we are. We're just not going about it publicly and stating that we're going to do it, because you lower the valuation. And I do like how Man United are behaving this summer. It's far more professional. It's far more elite. And listen, we've got a long way to go to build our reputation back in the transfer market. But as a Man United fan, I'm quite proud of it, really. And I think with the players we're signing, we're going to have a very strong team next year, and a team that's going to challenge, and a team that's going to close that gap on the top, and a team that can do well in Europe, because I trust my manager. The young players that we've got are going to be a year older. The signings we're making are his players. And we're seeing what's happened at clubs, just like Liverpool, just like Arsenal last year. When a manager keeps getting his players and his backed, there's always improvements when the managers are a high quality. And Ten Hag is a high quality manager. So, yeah, I'm buzzing about it. And if we had Amrabat as well, that midfield, Amrabat and Casemiro, how are many teams even going to get through that midfield? How are you going to break that midfield down?
Where's Mason Mount playing?
Somewhere, I don't care, but I'll do it him. Like, everyone knows I'm not the biggest Mount fan, but multiple places. But yeah, for me, them two as our midfield, that midfield is cooking with Bruno Fernandes, one of the best creators in European football, ahead of him. Jesus, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Can't see any reason why it wouldn't dominate the league.
Not dominate the league, because I do think Arsenal and City are better than us, but I think we can close the gap massively. We absolutely can.
Well, if that's your expectations for the season, mate, then just to close the gap?
But that's not my only expectation.
You should be, you're Man United. You should be out there actively saying, no, my club needs to win again. You won the trophy last season. You can't not win one this season, otherwise you've gone backwards. But
like I said to you, that isn't my only expectation. We must win a trophy, and we must go deep into the Champions League next year if we bring these players in. Now, if we don't do it, doesn't mean I'll necessarily say sack the manager. You got to contextualize it. But I will. If we don't win a trophy next year, I'll call it a failed season. I'm really open. Like I'm very comfortable with saying that. It doesn't bother. It doesn't worry me. It doesn't make me feel like less of a Man United fan. I'll call it what it is. But I've got a lot of optimism in this coach. I like the squad. Bruno's going to be our captain. Rashi's just got his new deal, and we're moving in the right. We're moving in the right direction.
Fernandes the captaincy when you got Casemiro there. Like, come on. Like, that's weird to me. That's I know he's been wearing the captain's armband, and Casemiro, that's the captain right there. I don't know why anyone's even gassed that Bruno's getting it. They should be all fuming that Casemiro's not got it. It makes no sense. Why should we be fuming? Because you've given it to Bruno when you've got Casemiro there. Casemiro's 5 times Champions League winner.
But we don't need to be
fuming. Bruno Fernandes. Like,
so captain has to have won something.
Well, at Man United, yeah. If it's Brighton, it don't matter because they couldn't care less about winning anyway. Yeah, or Brentford or someone like that. Yeah, but if you're playing for Man United, you should have been. He is the only world-class player you've got, by the way. Yeah, Casemiro, in my opinion, is the only world-class footballer you have at that club. Yeah, so on that basis alone, and the fact that he's won multiple Champions Leagues 5 times, plus all the other trophies he's won, it's only one.
So I get your logic, but I don't think many.
Okay, Bruno Fernandes ever played in the Champions League final and won one? No,
he's not.
He's played in 5.
So I understand all of that, and I'm not challenging any of that, Lee. We just don't need to be angry about it, though. There's no need for. There's no need for Man United fans to be angry right now, barring the Glazers not selling the club. Like there isn't always a need to be frustrated and angry and ranting and fuming. For me, it's just a case of, listen, Casemiro can still be
angry, though, did I? I just said it's weird.
You did. You said we should be angry. You said we should be angry.
You should be fuming with it, but I didn't say go and get angry and call out the club and all that. You should be personally sitting there thinking,
why?
Yeah, why? Because one's a serial winner and one's barely won anything in his career. He's the captain, but this guy who's won everything isn't.
But the difference is for me, though.
And you want winning mentality.
Nothing again, but we do, but nothing. Casemiro will be the same player for us and the same leader for us and setting the same examples, whether he wears the armband or not. If Casemiro goes, right, I'm going to do less of a job if I don't have the armband, then he ain't a captain, is he?
I never said that.
So it doesn't matter if he's the captain or not.
The manager's choice is wrong, in my opinion.
Okay, but if Casemiro is going to be the same player and the same leader with or without the armband, why does he need the armband?
Because Terry, you're totally missing the point. Yeah,
what is
my opinion based off of Bruno not winning next to anything in his career, and a serial winner who's come from the biggest club in the world to one of the biggest clubs in the world, walks in instantly. He's got respect. So yes, he doesn't need the armband. I understand that, but my point is the manager, who cocked up with Harry Maguire, by the way, so that ain't ruthless. He's finally gone, oh, you're not my captain next season. Should have done it when he walked in the door. But he didn't want to upset anybody because he's only just got to the club. He's also now cocked up again because he's given it to Bruno Fernandes. And I'm sorry, mate. When I've seen Bruno Fernandes ghost games left, right, and centre, and finals, by the way, yeah, he's ghosted a lot of big games. Well, he has. He's been part of your biggest embarrassments as well. Yeah, let's be real. And then you've got a serial winner coming into the football club. That should be the guy. It's a no-brainer that he should be giving it to him. He should be giving it to Bruno. Bruno, stay vice captain, mate. Yeah, you stay vice captain, but he's my captain.
If Casemiro was announced as the captain, I'd be happy. If Bruno was announced as the captain, I'd be happy. I don't think you need to wear the armband to behave like a captain. When Man United were at their best, and you had, for instance, Roy Keane and Gary Pallister and Gary Neville and Cantona all in the same team, all of them at different points wore that armband. But they were all leaders. Roy Keane was a leader when Cantona was a captain.
They were all serial winners. Bruno's
yes, but they weren't. Okay, but they weren't all serial winners when they first came into the team. They became serial winners at Manchester United. But the point I'm making is that Roy Keane didn't need the armband to be a captain at Man United. Gary Neville was a leader at Man United ever before he became the captain after Roy Keane left. Nemanja Vidic was a leader at Man United ever before he became the captain, before Gary Neville retired from the football club. Wayne Rooney was the leader at Man United ever before it was handed on to him, beyond that of Nemanja Vidic. Now, from my point of view, the serial winner stuff I understand and I get, but I trust, this is why I'm not fuming though, and I suppose this is the difference between you and I when it comes to our football clubs. I trust my manager, and I also take into consideration that he sees things behind the scenes that I personally don't, and I'm trusting that he is making the right decisions. Now, sometimes decisions are not always obvious. Like your point is Maguire should have that captaincy ripped away from him day one. We will see what happens with Man United over the coming years in terms of the trophies we win. Then we'll look back and we know that we got things right. If this season we regress and we go backwards, then we can start looking at these decisions and analysing them in a little bit more detail. But last year, he gave Maguire a chance to prove that he wasn't a problem at the club, and he slowly got phased down to the 5th choice centre-back. There was no need or necessity to strip him of the captaincy last season because he was already dropped and Bruno was the captain on the field of play with Casemiro helping to lead, Varane and everybody else. This year, the captaincy's been officially stripped because the club is actively looking to sell him, and they've got to do it, and it'll be announced and given to somebody else. But in the grand scheme of things, if Bruno now is only going to step up because he's the official captain, then he wouldn't be right for the club either. He's a natural born leader along with Casemiro. And some of your points around Cas, I get and I agree with, but I'm not going to be fuming about it because I trust my manager 100%.
Can I just read these comments, Alex? There's a few people that haven't engaged their brains in the chat. On that basis, Jesus or Zinchenko should be captain at Arsenal then. Well, Kieran Tierney's won more than all of them.
Has he?
Kieran Tierney at club level has won more trophies than both of them. More trophies than both of them at club level.
Oh, it's for Celtic. Right. I'm just trying to work out where he's won these trophies.
And guess what? When we signed Kieran Tierney, if you go back to the stream that I did on that deadline day, I said make him captain as soon as he comes to the club. So, yeah, I'm consistent with it. Yeah. So treble winner, you can't give him the captain's armband, but then you go and give it to Martin Odegaard, who's won one trophy in 9 professional seasons as a footballer. But then I get what you're saying. Not everyone can have the armband, and they're all different leaders. That's cool. Yeah, but sorry, mate. In my opinion, Cash should be. I
understand that, but then I'll use your same logic to back up my case around trusting my manager. My manager is a 3-time league winning manager. He's won 3 leagues in 4 years as a manager. Yeah. So therefore, I trust him to make the right decisions in terms of creating title-winning teams.
Okay, I expect a title challenge then. We'll see.
And I expect one over the coming seasons. Let's go to some of these super chats here. Terry, I think Rashford should be the United captain. No, not in my opinion. I don't know if Rashford to me is not.
I'm surprised they never gave it to Rashford though. I can't lie.
No, because Rashford doesn't. Again, it's only what it appears to me. Rashford works hard in the team and does what he needs to do, but he is a head down, work hard player. He's not a leader in my opinion, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's been many great players that haven't been leaders. I love Lee so much, never change is what Thompson says here.
Every week, every single Tuesday, I'll rattle them because they tune in. This is their favourite show, Tel. They look forward to it.
Of course it is. It's one of mine as well. We all know why Bruno has made captain is to protect him from the referees whilst in games as he moans at the referees. Yeah, I don't think that's a fine theory, but not in my personal.
He's been given the armband because he's one of the fans' favourites. Because they've overhyped him into oblivion, making out he's one of the best midfielders on the planet. They have.
No, he hasn't.
Your fans go on like he's the greatest creator in the world and all that.
One of the best.
Come on, do me a favour.
Absolutely one of the best.
Okay.
Factually provable as well. Not objectively. It's subjectively provable. Sorry, it's not subjective. It's objectively provable. It is. It's provable. It's provable. Big up the boys. Lee, I'm upset. You've only done 1 live stream in 7 weeks. By the way, Lee, would you take Amrabat over Jorginho? Quick question.
Big up, Smokey. Yeah, I'll take you over Jorginho. This crap.
This year says Hojlund has the same league goals as Núñez last season and 2 less than Gabriel Jesus. Yeah.
He also got the same amount as Martial.
Martial didn't get 9 league goals last year.
Did he? Maybe. Yeah, I think he did. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that was all comps.
Maybe. Mate, I just don't remember.
Somebody put it in the chat earlier. That's what I'm saying. I don't actually. But...
Let's have a little. Yeah, but he's also 27, Martial. Let's have a little look here.
But he was the next Thierry Henry, mate. He's got the Ballon d'Or clause and everything in the contract.
9 in all comps. 9 in all comps.
Oh, there you go. All comps.
6 in the Premier League, though. He does have 6 in 6 for Denmark, though, which is true. He's doing very, very well at international level.
It's basically just the Erling Haaland from Wish. His name is even similar, isn't it? You know what I mean?
But theoretically, barring Kane as number 9s in the world right now, top ones, everybody's a Wish version of Haaland. Like everybody is. Do you know what I'm saying? This year says Gabriel Jesus has won 12 trophies, Tierney 10.
12 domestic trophies.
However, though, I'm going to call you out on this, Lee.
Because he's got
hang on.
He's got international trophies, like
Hang on, though.
a gold medal or something.
Hang on, though.
Go on.
You said earlier, like, if goals from leagues like Italy are not worth as much as goals here, surely trophies from Scotland are not worth the same as the Premier League.
We still got to win them.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
still
just
got to win them.
wondering about your logic.
The logic's pretty simple. The predefined metric for success is a trophy. It's not scoring 50 goals that lead to nothing.
But if it's
Harry Kane, he's won nothing. Look how many goals he's got.
But if it's easier to score goals in the crap leagues and you're a decent player, then is it not easy to win the trophies?
Oh, hold on. Because by that logic, see, people say this to me all the time. The Scottish League, most of the players in the Scottish League are on or around the same skill sets, the same levels. The Italian League, yes, you'll have 3 or 4 or 5 superstars, and the rest are all around the same level. So it's the same in every league, right?
Mm.
Yeah. So you're basically playing in a lower league, of course, but you will stand out if you're better. That doesn't mean that the other 10 people on the pitch are as good as you. So you're still on the same level, and you can't do it every week, especially if you're a left back.
Like, yeah, but if you have a team like Celtic that has 4 or 5 players in its starting lineup that are exponentially better than all the other players in the league, and the league substandard, winning that league is therefore easier for Celtic than it is for City to win the Premier League.
Well, look how many times City have won the Premier League.
I'm not making a statement. I'm asking a question.
No, but look how many times City have won the Premier League in the last 6 years.
Oh, that's because
you're going to have a look how many times Scotland Celtic have won. It's about the same. So it's all relative. Yeah.
Not all captains are pitch shouters as much as training ground, hotels, changing room vibes. Bruno isn't the best player, but could be good behind the scenes. This is true. This is true. This here says, let's be honest, Lee, Casemiro is equally responsible for that loss. We should be captainless. Varane captain, in my opinion.
There you go. There's another shout. Varane's a good shout.
Yeah, Varane, the reason I wouldn't make him captain is, one, he probably ain't going to be at the club more than another year or so. Injury prone as well. That'll be part of it. This here says, big up Lee. Fans went from hounding LVG out to for failing to win the Champions League, even though he won 2 league titles and a CDR, to accepting mediocrity. The problem is with LVG, he wasn't hounded out for that. He was hounded out because we were awful in the Premier League. The football was atrocious. We weren't scoring goals, and we didn't make it into the Champions League. He was hounded out, but it's because he was taken. We were going backwards. So again, I don't really get what you're saying here, bro.
No. I've read it again. He's a Barcelona fan. Big up, Luke.
Right. I'm about to say, I know he was a Champions League player.
Because when he was at Man United, he got sacked after winning the FA Cup. Or was it the FA Cup he won? Got sacked as soon as literally a week later.
Yeah, in fairness, I spoke to LVG about this. He used to be a client. He pretty much knew he was sacked from December. So whether he won that trophy or not, they'd already made that. But the logic in it wasn't that bad. And
he was funny though, man. Do you remember when he fell over on the floor, like taking?
He was a funny guy and a gentleman as well. But you know what? Man United then had the same logic that you used, and it was Jose Mourinho is available. We think he's a better manager and winner in 2015, 16, whenever it was, than this guy. We've got to bring him in. It's like right now, as great as Ten Hag's doing, if Pep was available in the summer, I'd sack Ten Hag and bring Pep in because you see him as a better manager, right? And that's what Man United tried to do. It just didn't. It worked out year one. We won 2 trophies and got back in the Champions League.
He won more trophies at United than LVG, so it was the right choice.
Yeah, no, I agree. But then it fell apart. But there we go.
Never recovered, really, have you?
Well, we have now. We won a trophy. Lee, where do you reckon? Okay, we'll come back to the Arsenal ones in a little bit. This here says there was a news that Kimmich was up for sale for 80 million euros. If Man United buy him, that would be lovely. Casemiro, Kimmich, and Bruno. Listen, if Man United could sign Kimmich, then yes, it'd be amazing. But I can't see.
He's still only like 23, isn't he? 23, 24.
He ain't old.
You see how many trophies he's won?
Let's have a look how old he is. He's older than that. He's 28. He's 28.
Oh, Kimmich. Oh, maybe I'm thinking. I'm thinking of somebody else. He plays for Bayern as well. Who am I thinking of?
I'm not sure.
How
many trophies? He's just trophies. He's got 8 league titles, 3 Pokals, Super Cup for days, won Champions League. Yeah, he's won a lot. He's won a lot.
Yeah,
I'd love
it wasn't
him,
him I'm thinking of. It's somebody else. I was watching a stream the other day. I can't remember who it was, and they said he's 23 or 24, and then they counted all the trophies. I was just like, that's taking a piss.
Yeah, it's like Trent's won a lot, and Trent's only young, but that's slowed down a bit. But there we go. It's I'm happy about that. But yeah, Kimmich to Man United. I don't personally see it myself, but I would love it. This is to you, Lee. It says Diaby to Villa. Thoughts from Lee?
It's about his level. To be fair. Good signing for Villa. Yeah, but we've been linked to him. You've been linked to him. Everyone's been linked to him. And yeah, it's about his level. Let's just be real with it. Yeah, he's not that good. He can run fast. All the FIFA kids love him. Yeah, but his first touch is one of the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah,
literally. There's again another clumsy footballer. Doesn't look like he's fully in control of what he's doing. Very rash with his shooting. Yeah, but because he can run fast and he plays in a shit league. Yeah. And he is one of the better players in that shit league. And he's fast. And they play a high line. He can get him behind and looks good, doesn't he?
I get that. This here's an interesting super chat. It says, Terry, doesn't Lee Gunner look like Roger from that old cartoon Doug a bit? I don't know. I don't remember it. I remember Doug. Roger from Doug cartoon.
I've got to Google it. I don't know what that cartoon is.
You do a little bit. You do a little bit. Let me. I'll put it up on the screen.
You're taking the piss.
A little bit. Let me put it up on the screen. That's in there.
You are taking the piss.
A little bit there.
I have to get my hair coming up here, like.
Yeah, just a little bit on the side.
Just sit with my head under the gloves.
Yeah, I like it. A little bit like him. He says here, I'll come to the Arsenal ones in a minute. Jokes, apart from Maguire, you can't polish a turd. Yeah, I know, but don't bait it up, bro. Man United fans have got to support
Don't worry,
this.
man. They've got Jonny Evans back, mate. They're sweet.
True. I would like to take this moment to thank me. Oh, Avram Glazer. Thank you very much, mate. Please, someone take Lukaku. There was an update today on the sale, by the way, and it was the owners are going to imminently sell or keep the club. I'm like, yeah, that's been the case for 8 months. Thanks for the headline. I couldn't believe it.
Hey, mate, as for Lukaku, have you seen what's going on? He's airing their calls and everything, apparently. And apparently he's going to go to Juve. So now the Inter Ultras have issued a statement. It's funny, man. Like, they don't mess about.
Do you know what? Lukaku is, I don't know who's more unloyal, Lukaku or Ryan Giggs. Like the way he behaves is crazy. But yeah, he's on his way.
It is crazy, man. It is. It's mad. Like, honestly, how can you go to Inter after saying like you want to move to Inter? So you get a move to Inter. You go to Inter, then you say you want to move back to Chelsea. You go back to Chelsea, you get there and go, nah, actually, I want to go back to Inter. After Inter Ultras said, bollocks, you ain't coming back, held the 50-foot long banner up saying you're a Judas and all that. Then they accept him back. He does it again. Mate, they're gonna go nuts on him next season. I can't lie.
It's crazy. Yeah, that game. I'm just tuning in for. I don't watch much Serie A, but I'm tuning in for Juve versus Inter at the San Siro.
The last time they played, he scored against them and he got racially abused by the Juve fans, apparently. Right, which makes it even more mad that he wants to go to Juve instead of going back to Inter. It's like a bit weird, to me.
I agree. Adam J says, same Bruno asking to be subbed against Liverpool. That didn't happen. That was a lie. That's Gary.
Can we prove that? We can't prove that it's a lie. We can't prove it's truth. It's just subjective.
We can because they showed the footage and he didn't ask to come off. Gary Neville admitted he got it wrong. Any other era, Bruno is a League Cup player for Manchester United.
Facts.
Maybe.
Would he get into any of your decent teams back in the day? No chance. No way.
He could have played for us, definitely. Anderson played in our midfield. Anderson played it. Listen, Anderson, Tom Cleverley, players like this. Darren Gibson played in title-winning teams. Darren Fletcher, they played regularly in title-winning teams. This is don't talk to me about my club and come out with this nonsense. Man United. Listen, Man United. Jasper Blomqvist was a fucking treble winner.
Big up Jasper.
he was good, but no, trust me, Bruno would have played for Man United over the last 30 years. There's no doubt about it at all. Imagine Bruno. Do you know what? Bruno playing the ball into Wayne Rooney. Oh my God. It would have been ridiculous.
No.
It would have been ridiculous. I didn't miss your super chats, bro. We just star them for later in the show. This one here says, when will we see Lee in a new Havertz shirt?
Never.
What I need to ask you, what did you make of Arsenal's first pre-season performance?
I didn't watch it.
Did you not?
Why would I watch it? I was on the beach. Why would I watch that? I might watch them because my mate's coming out tonight. So he's going to be out here for the next two. And he's like, he's proper on it. He goes to the games tonight, yeah. And he's like, yeah, where are we watching the games? I'm like, Jay, they're on at 2:30 and 4:30 in the morning, mate. Where do you think's open at that time? So we kind of watching the games. Like, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, if he wants to watch him, he's paying for him.
There we go. This here says that new Arsenal kit looks like if you splattered the blood of the banana in pajamas over what? Scalextric track. Have
you seen it? Have you seen the new kit?
I've seen your new kit and Man United's new kit. They're both ugly and green.
Mate, whoever it was at Adidas that thought that was a nice design and signed it off needs to be removed from their position immediately. And surely the club gets a say in the kit, right? Does the club have allowed to say? I don't know. Whoever's made that decision, mate. Oh my days. Yeah, that. And do you know what? I did a video that I dropped earlier, and I went on the website whilst I was recording it. For Declan Rice number 41 with the Premier League badges, 105 quid for that shirt. Wow. They're taking the piss. Like, honestly, they're taking the mick.
They sell a million of them. Yeah, but no, that's crazy. That is actually crazy how much.
And the thing is, the name and number on the back of a shirt, if you do it at Arsenal, like, or order it off their website or whatever, they get every penny of the name and number. Now, I'm not sure how it works with the Premier League or Champions League badge, because if you had the Champions League badge on, it was 110 quid. Yeah, it was an extra £5. It's crazy, isn't it?
Mad.
But I think they get like between 5 and 10% of the shirt money, which, by the way, has gone up 15% from last season's shirt. Now they've put the prices up for the tickets 4%, and now the shirts have gone up 15%. But apparently, we're a family. It's the Arsenal family, mate. Yeah, why would you rob your family then? Crazy. 105 quid for that shirt. And do you know what the biggest piss take was last season? You know that pink kit? We only wore that twice. That third kit, we wore it twice. 70 quid for the shirt.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's actually crazy what they do to people. Dear Lee, and this is potentially a £35 million done deal on its way. Dear Lee, Balogun leaving isn't about Arteta's performance. It's about the role. Eddie is fine being a squad player. Balogun wants to be a starter. There are big reports he's going to go to Inter Milan for around 35 million, maybe a little bit more. Thoughts on that? Is that a mistake from Mikel Arteta?
Massive mistake. Yeah, that comment there says Eddie's fine being a squad player. Well, he shouldn't be here then. Yeah, if Eddie's fine and that's how it is, then he shouldn't be at the football club. Yeah, because none of them players should be comfortable just being squad players. Same with Rob Holding. He's just the biggest cheerleader in football, isn't he? Right, he's happy just to be there. Yeah, and listen, Eddie and Nketiah can only score one type of goal, 6-yard box, which is cool for somebody else, just not for Arsenal. Yeah, Balogun's got a lot more about his game and should be pushing to be a starter at Arsenal. Yeah, and I rate that he backs himself like that. Yeah, and people say, yeah, but he scored in the French league and whatever. Who cares? You still got to do it. Yeah, and I know it led to nothing, like I said earlier, but this is a kid that's on his way up. Yeah, and if we get rid of him, we better make sure we got a buyback clause and a sell-on clause. Yeah, because he is going to be a top player, mate. I'm convinced of it. He's going to be a top player. Exactly. Eddie's 24 years old, and he's happy being a squad player. He's just happy nicking £100,000 a week, Eddie. Yeah, Balogun, top player, mate. And I said it, yeah, and I can't remember what Twitter account posted it out years ago. When we played Dundalk or something, and I said sign him because he was like haggling. There was reports that he wanted £100,000 a week, Balogun, and he played like 3 times. I said give him £100,000 a week then. Yeah, and everyone went mad. Some Twitter account put it out. It went mad viral. No, he said give him £100,000 a week. Yeah, and now last season they're all like, "Oh, bring him back! What a player! Look, he's smashing it in France. Yeah, get rid of Eddie, get him in the team." Yeah, funny how things change, isn't it? Yeah, we give Eddie 100 grand a week instead, and he does nothing. Yeah, for me, Balogun's miles clear. He's more physical, he's quicker, he can hold the ball up better. Yeah, his link-up plays miles better, and he can score all types of different goals. Yeah, and his first touch is better. Ticks every box. Yeah, Eddie, what does he do? He's a 6-yard merchant, which is cool for West Ham. Yeah, or Brentford, not for Arsenal.
I hear you on that. This here says, still get rid of Holding. Sorry, still get rid of Holding on for a paycheck. Cedric Diggory, Mohamed El Necessary, Lagonda, and Inketina, and Pepperoni.
That was really testing your dyslexia there, wasn't it, mate?
It really was. Making these fake words up, my brain was killing me. Yeah, look, Arsenal. Who do you think Arsenal are going to go? If Arsenal get rid of a lot of these players, which they're highly likely to, else do you really think you should be going for? I've seen a link today, and I don't know how credible this is, around Joao Felix. Is that the kind of individual that you should go for if you raise some money, or is it a different position?
All day long. Yeah, I said this a couple of months ago when he and the people in the chat were going, "Oh, but he flopped at Chelsea. Okay, good one. I mean, he's going to flop at Arsenal, does it? Yeah, because if this manager's as good as you lot keep telling me he is, then he'll make it work, won't he? Like, it's as simple as that. Joao Felix, we need a striker all day long, mate. Yeah, I actually think that if we get rid of Thomas Partey, we need 2 midfielders. Yeah, if we keep Thomas Partey, we still need another midfielder. Yeah, Declan Rice has had like 1 injury, I think, in like 6 years. Now Donny gets injured this season. Every player who comes with a clean injury record to our club ends up getting injured. Thomas Partey was the last one. So I don't know, man. I think we need another midfielder. In terms of who that is, probably Lavia maybe we'll probably get. That's not who I would necessarily get. I'd go and get Caicedo. I'd get Caicedo and bin Jorginho immediately, and then go and get Lavia as the backup. Yeah, go and get both. But my first choice would be Caicedo. I think we need a right winger. Yeah, we should definitely be in for a striker as well. Yeah, go and buy Ivan Toney. Oh, but he's banned. And what? Yeah, he can still train. Can still get in the team, in the training ground.
He actually can't train in the training ground. Not allowed to.
Well, he's not legally allowed to train in the training ground under the Premier League rules.
No, what I read, and it's only what I read. If someone's got a new link, then educate me on it. What I read is that he's banned from all aspects of football until January. Obviously, privately, he can have a coach and go to a park and train or hire a place out, but he can't go
can't go to the train. Wow, that's mad. I thought he was just banned from playing football on match days. I thought he was still allowed to train at the training ground.
No, that's what I read anyway. Now, I read it in an article somewhere that he's legitimately like banned completely from playing football at any professional level. Otherwise,
but he's not technically playing, is he? He's
training. But I suppose the reason they're doing it is because it does stop things like, and he can't be transferred either now because that's part of football activities. But I think that's why they've done it, because their view is, well, we want it to. It sounds harsh. They want it to damage him, and 6 months of not doing anything is hard at his age. But it's only what I read. Sorry, someone says can't train until September. Okay, so maybe the training's a little bit later in that. But
the thing is, surely he can be transferred, right? You can transfer. You can do a deal for January for him right now, can't you? Or are you not allowed to do that?
I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of that. But yeah, listen. I think Tony. Listen, I'd love Tony at Man United. I think he's such
class,
such a talented player.
Somebody in the chat said Tony's banned. Question mark. Where have you been? Where have you been, bro? He's been banned for weeks.
This here says, keep Balogun and Eddie, but use Jesus on the right wing.
I'd keep Jesus doing what he's doing, but I'd keep Balogun in the team. There's a way you could get them all in. You don't have to play them every game. I'm pretty sure we're going to have, if we're going to go deep in competitions this season, instead of throwing the cups away, we're going to have close to 60-odd games. Balogun going to get 30 comfortably. Yeah, Jesus will get more than that because he's a better footballer right now.
30 games?
Games. We'll have about 60 games.
I thought you meant goals then. I misheard.
No, we'll have about 60 games if we're not throwing all the cups in. Well, we can't throw the Champions League in the bin because we've been waiting 6 years to get back in it. So we can't throw that away. The League Cup's beneath us anyway. The Superfan channel told us that. So that's one cup we are definitely throwing away. Yeah. And we're not likely to win the Champions League. We're not likely to win the Premier League. So we've got to go for the FA Cup, haven't we?
It actually brings us to this next super chat actually that says, "Hi, crybabies. I hope you and all your families are doing well. Lee, what is your expectations for Arsenal next season? What you will consider a failure? What will you consider a failure?
Not winning anything. You have to win stuff. Yeah, let's be real. By the end of this transfer window, I do think we'll go and get another couple of players as well. Whether they're top draw players or whether they're squad fillers, so we can use this thin squad narrative again later down the road, remains to be seen. But success is all that's needed at this football club. Win trophies, mate. Anything else is failure. Last season was a failure. I don't care whether people want to dress it up. You didn't pick up a trophy. You didn't win anything. Therefore, you failed. You failed with the objective of the sport. That's it. And we're going to be, by the time we've signed maybe a couple more players, we're going to be touching nearly £750 million he's spent. When am I allowed to sit here and say win a title or sack him? How much more money? Because he signed 25 new players. That's a whole squad, by the way. 25 players he signed. He's done 630 million at the minute. 640 million. Yeah.
Jeez.
When is it acceptable to say, no, I demand you win a title or you can jog on, mate? Full season coming up. So, yeah, you have to win stuff. But let's be real, we won't. Yeah, we ain't winning the Champions League. We ain't winning the league. And I've seen so many Arsenal fans recently saying that, oh, yeah, but Man City are weaker. And they're getting rid of Mahrez and Bernardo could be going. And they're getting rid of Cancelo. And they're so much weaker now. Yeah, and they're still elite. And they will still go out there and do what is required to go and win it again. And nobody else takes it seriously in this league. If we were serious, we would have already been in for Caicedo and signed him, as well as Rice. Yeah, I love what we've done with the first bit of the window. Great. We've got our players to on pre-season. Whether I like them all or not is irrelevant. The club wanted them. They've gone and got them. That's something we ain't seen for as long as I can remember. But ultimately, it ain't enough to win the title. Let's just be real with it. And they won't go and do what's enough to win the title. So even with Man City are getting rid of all of these players, they're still going to win the league because we won't go that extra step. And I was speaking to my mate who's coming out here. His dad's out here at the minute. He goes, he actually has nearly had enough of this club as well. Like literally millimeters from sending his season ticket back saying piss off. Yeah, but he said grown men 60 years old crying because Granit Xhaka left. And they're, well, we want you to stay, Granit. Like, what's that all about? Against Wolves, and he walks out when they're doing the walk of shame. Yeah, and everyone's going, "Where are you going? Where are you going?" Because I ain't fucking celebrating second. Oh, you're miserable. Like, and then they put the price up. Now you can't transfer. You can't just give the ticket to your family member. Like now they've lowered the amount of games you're allowed. You've got on your ticket. Put the price up 4%, and now you have to do 17 games out of 19 to be able to renew your ticket again. Now they've also done a ballot system. Check this. I'm glad I've just remembered that. Check this, right? To get a silver membership at Arsenal, you had to have a red membership originally and go to a certain amount of games to build up your points to then be able to get a silver. So what this clever football club have done, yeah, and with a silver membership, you could buy a ticket for a home game 2 months in advance. With a red, it's 1 month in advance, so very unlikely you're going to get one, yeah? Right? So now check this. This clever football club decided, I know, the people that have worked their way up to a silver, don't worry, you're in a ballot with the red members next season, i.e. this season, for every home game. So now you could set up a membership right now on a red membership and you could get a ticket, but I've got a silver and I can't because I didn't win the ballot. And do you know why they've done that? Do you know why they've done that? Because they want more new fans at that stadium because they spend money. Yeah, they don't want the geezer who lives around the corner who's been going 20 years. Yeah, that's just going to get the tube there and the tube back, not buy anything in the ground, not buy the shirts, just goes there, pays his ticket money, that's it. Yeah, they don't want you there. They don't want season ticket holders there. Yeah, and this club is slowly filtering away from the actual match day fan. They want more touristy type fans there.
And I get that claim, but you know when you say you haven't been serious, you man have dropped like £230 million so far this window.
Yep.
How is that not being serious?
65 million on Kai Havertz. For an extra 10 million, we could have had McAllister and Maddison.
Yeah, but your manager though doesn't.
Couldn't we? And their wages, by the way, is less than Kai Havertz.
Yeah, but that's a hindsight conversation for later because your manager rates Kai Havertz higher, so they've backed him in that decision. So I get where you're coming from. That you would have preferred those two, but your manager 100%. Has gone. your manager has said no. I believe
Yeah.
Kai Havertz is a better signing for us than Maddison. So
Yep.
you guys have you've done enough business. It's whether or not the business. See, this is the difference I think between you and I. I think you've done enough business. It's whether or not that business is good enough. So I think you've been serious. Your owners and Edu have done the business for Arteta. It's just now whether or not Arteta is good enough and the team's good enough to get you over the line. I think we just see it a little bit differently because
I
get
your point, but at the same time, you said that if this manager this manager also gave Eddie and Nketiah £100,000 a week based off of 5 goals that took us from 4th to 5th the season before last. He's also given Mohamed El Neni a new contract. Why? Oh, but we're going to make him a coach. How about jog on, mate? Yeah, what is this? A creche? We're paying for a dog at the training ground. What's that all about? Who's paying for that? Who's paying for the dog food? Who looks after it when we're all on pre-season? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what a gimmick. Oh, hi, Win. Like, who takes it home? Is it like when you're at school and you have the gerbil at school? Yeah, and like, oh, you can take it home this week, Samantha. Like, oh, next week, Johnny's taking it home. Like, fucking, what is this, mate? Honestly, this football club is buried. Yeah, it is buried. It is buried, right? And not only that, you're saying it's serious. Yes, the owners have given the amount of money to whatever he wants, which is great, fantastic. The problem is what he's buying isn't good enough. Declan Rice, a top player, by the way. Yeah, Timber, we don't know. Nobody watches Dutch football unless you're Dutch. Let's just be real with it. There's all these hipsters that reckon they watch Timber every week at Ajax. No, you didn't. Stop lying. You're not sitting there going, I know, I'm not going to watch Super Sunday this week. I'm going to tune into Ajax against fucking Herenveen. Like, come on, shut up. Yeah, let's just be real with it here. Right? But my point is, you go and sign Zinchenko because you want to play an inverted fullback. How about buy a defender that can defend? Oh, we had one, Kieran Tierney. Yeah, but then he's always injured. Well, that's another myth. Last time he actually had an injury was last March. It was the last time he was injured.
Well, March
Tomiyasu, since he's been at that football club, has been injured more than Thomas Partey and Tierney. But what did this fan base want to do? They want to get rid of Thomas Partey, get rid of Tierney, and keep Tomiyasu. Why? Why? Because it's vibes. Oh, making friends already, Tommy. Arsenal tweet this crap out, mate. Looking good, Tommy. Here's another fruit shoot, Tommy. Fucking come on. Like, it's pathetic. The way our social media team tweet is embarrassing. Yeah, Man United ain't much further behind. But this is my point, Terry. You go and spend 17 million or 20 million or whatever it was on Sambi Lokonga. You do 35 on Fabio Vieira. That's 55 million. Now we're over halfway to getting Caicedo. Now add in Tomiyasu, who's clearly not ever going to be fit enough or good enough. That's now Caicedo money. So yes, you've got 2 players less, but you've got one quality footballer that can start week in, week out. Now go through the rest of the players. Like, we knew that Jesus weren't prolific, but then we then go and sign Trossard. So now we've got 2 players that are not prolific, and they both play the same position. Why don't you just buy one decent one? I like Trossard, I like Jesus. Why don't you just go and buy a worldie? Yeah, and the thing is, if you look at the amount of players we've signed and the average fee, apart from Declan Rice, in fact, even if you throw Declan Rice in and break it all down, works out around 20 odd million quid a player, right? Which on paper isn't a lot, is it? But when you add up, we've got 25 players. I think that was before Declan Rice, actually. But when you work it out, this guy said, I'm never happy. Mate, we're on the longest trophy drought in a decade. Why would I be happy? We have not won a trophy for over 3 years.
Are you not excited, though? You're not excited about the new season ahead?
I'm excited when this club go and finish this transfer window with what I want. Then I'll be excited. Until then, I'm semi-excited. Somebody said to me the other day, what do you rate the transfer window? And I said, what, right now? I said, right now, Granit Xhaka's gone, so instantly that's a green tick. Yeah, that's definitely a green tick. Thank God he's out of this club. Yeah, if there was 2 players that summed up this football club for the last 20 years, he's one of them, and Rob Holding's the other. Yeah, and he needs to go as well. Sambi Lokonga needs to go. Fabio Vieira, absolute rubbish, mate. Absolute rubbish. Oh, but he's still young. I don't care. Nobody brings up age when Erling Haaland's bagging 53 goals. Nobody brings up Vinicius Junior's age. Yeah, but when it's, oh, but he's only young. It's only young because it's an excuse for covering up their crap performances. Yeah, so you bring up the age. Yeah, the fact and reality is we're on the longest trophy drought for a decade. If you go back, 2014, we won the cup. 2015, we won the cup. 2017, we won the cup. 2020, we won the cup. Well, when are we winning the next one then? Because now that is the longest trophy drought for a decade. But everyone's happy. Oh, but I feel closer to the club. And what, mate? They don't care about you. They just want your money. Yeah, but I like the team. Well, hold on a minute. This manager better deliver this season. He better deliver, mate. He's done nearly 650 million quid. Deliver something. If he's that good a manager, win something. Yeah, and I'm sick and tired of these people sitting there telling you, oh, yeah, we'll just back it. I'll back it when I see something worth backing. Yeah, last season, we were fantastic. But again, we go out in the January transfer window for Caicedo. We come back with Jorginho. So it's all you need to know about this football club, with the nearly club. And when I was speaking to my mate's dad the other night, he said, we've been like this since Bertie Me days, mate. They're the nearly club. We're nearly good. We're 2 players away. Yeah, look how many times under Arsene Wenger we needed a striker or a midfielder or a defender. We're always the nearly team. How about we be the team?
I hear you. I hear you on that. There's some super chats here. First one says Arsenal until I die. It says dog's surname should have been F all. Banter aside, I do think we're heading in the right direction. Not stressing over the window. Let's see.
No, see, I'm not stressing over the window, and I do agree. We are heading in the right direction in terms of league finish. But it's a Premier League spreadsheet, mate. That's it. If you ain't won the league, it's irrelevant.
Yeah, this here says semi-excited. Geez, I'd hate to see you not excited.
For people that are going and roasting me and saying that, so somebody in the chat said it's called supporting. How about we compare fandom then, mate, and start and status as a supporter then? How many games you been to? Not as many as me. Yeah, how much money you spent? Not as much as I have. How many years you supported the club? Not as long as I have. How much knowledge of the club do you have? Probably not as much as me. I'm not the oracle, but I know a lot about this football club and its history going back all the way. So when people want to sit there and chat, it's called supporting. Come back when you've done me. Yeah, how about that?
When this is the only sound that went from here. When you said how many games you've been to, I just heard that. Yeah. I just heard.
Yeah, how many games you been to? How are you supporting? How are you supporting that's better than me? What? Because you're blindly backing the manager that has put us in the longest trophy drought for a decade after doing nearly 650 million quid, having 25 new players and bottling the biggest bottle job in the league history ever after bottling a top 4 race the season before with 3 games to go. So I don't understand why everyone thinks so rosy and oh my God. I'll tell you why it is though, because this fan base en masse, not all of them, en masse, yeah, just want to feel part of something because it fills a void in their life. Yeah, so it's their release. And I get that. But at the same time, they've lost their standards for this football club, Terry. And they've allowed the PR of this football club, the ex-players, yeah, and Arsenal social media team to play up on vibes. And I said to you last week or the week before, COVID was a massive thing for this football club because it showed them how easy it is to control the fan base. Yeah, it said, oh, wow, we can play on their emotions now. Yeah, so since COVID, and they were allowed back in the ground, Arsenal will put their prices up 8%.
I get you on that.
The shirts have gone up nearly 20% since then. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've lowered the amount of games you go to on your season ticket now, and now you have to go to 17 games out of 19, I think, to be able to renew your season ticket the following season. Yeah, and now everyone is put into a ballot who ain't got a season ticket.
Yeah, I think that's just
nobody cares.
That there is something that people should be objective about and go that's actually wrong. Got some more super chats here. First one says, Lee, I promise you that Kai Havertz is going to make you eat your words. I'm sure Lee hopes that's true.
The Premier League trophy at the end of the season then.
This here says, did you notice how Rice bigged up all the English players in the squad except for Nketiah? Zach here
is that actually true, or are you having a wind up?
I don't know. I didn't watch any of that stuff. Lee is bang on with Balogun and Eddie Nketiah, is what Zach Taylor says. Mbappe to Real Madrid. If that happens, we will win 4 to 5 Champions Leagues. You might but you do it without him. So yeah,
can I just read this one comment out very quickly?
Yeah, go on, bro.
This guy said Arteta has been here for 4 years, but somehow that's a decade. Yeah, try washing your ears out, mate. He's put us into our longest trophy drought for a decade. 2014, we won the cup. The following year, so that's 1 year, we won another cup. 2 years later, we won another one. And then 3 years later, Arteta in 2020 won one. Now, 3 and a bit years, is now the longest period in 10 years. Go back to school and learn maths, mate. Like, come on. He's been here 4 years. He's got rid of the whole squad. Ironically, he got rid of nearly every player who won him that cup. He's got all of his players and won nothing. It's almost like they weren't as toxic as everyone was being told they were.
Maybe. On the Declan Rice situation, he was announced. And when he was announced, this came out. And
don't. I'll smash my Mac up, mate. Honestly. Yeah.
What did you listen? I love Cecil. What did you make of the Ice Ice Baby routine by AFTV?
Well, that phrase is now muted on all of my socials. I'm being straight up honest with you. And same with the Timber song. Yeah, that's muted everywhere. I ain't seen none of that in my chats. Yeah, that sums up right there. That one video right there sums up everything wrong with my football club. Everything wrong with it. We sign a player, let's do a dance and a song outside and make a cringe song. That sums up everything wrong with Arsenal Football Club. Look at the difference. Did you see Madrid fans outside the Bernabeu when they signed Bellingham? You didn't, did you? Yeah, we moved to be like them. There you go. Ligue 1 bingo. We moved to be like Real Madrid. You don't see none of this crap over here, mate. Yeah, they straight win at all costs. And if you don't win, you're held accountable. They did the same thing with Thomas Partey, and now they're all sitting on that channel going, "Oh well, he's old now." Yeah, he was sat on super fan debates last season, arguing with Man U fans, telling them he's better than Casemiro. After doing the stupid dance that when we signed him, they done one for Havertz outside Stamford. What is going on here, Terry? This is an elite level football club. It's about winning trophies. That's it. None of this gimmick. Like, seriously, mate, modern football is dusted.
Are you just jealous because you can't dance as well as Cecil?
You're a trigger merchant, I swear. You trigger me so badly.
Are you watching him and you're like this old gammon who's going, "Oh, why is he doing?"
You don't want to hear the voice messages that I got off after that, mate. After the amount of people that were sending me voice messages,
mate. Look, I get it's cringe. I get it's cringe for some people, but can't just AFT is just having fun. Do you think it brings too much negative attention on Arsenal and pressure?
No, people sit there and go, people like me are the reason fans get bantered. Number one, why do you care? Yeah, what rival fans think? Right, you that soft. Most of these people are adults that say, "Oh, you make us a laughing stock." You're 50 years old, mate. Why do you care what somebody you've never met thinks? Genuinely, right? It's true though, isn't it? Do you genuinely care if Arsenal fans think you're a laughing stock? You don't. They're Arsenal fans. Who cares?
No. I don't care. Like, I don't. I have to say this. I genuinely mean this. I get called all sorts of pejoratives online, but you know, when I mean, my community, I love and respect what you will think, but like the general person that hates what I do, I don't think about them ever. I don't pay them one single piece of attention ever. I just get on with my life. I take care of my kids. I watch my football. Few glasses of red wine, and I live my life. Do you know what I'm saying? I zero.
See, the thing is that video right there sums up the way this football club's gone, Terry. Honestly, it really does. Just cringe and shameless and just vibes. Yeah, it's not about winning. It's just about feeling part of something. Yeah, the amount of people that like on my Instagram reels in the last couple of days. I could read out a whole list of the standard throw comments to factual information. Factually, at that point last season, it done £500 million. Factually, it's the longest run without a trophy, for 10 years. Yeah, factually, we bottled the league. Yeah, but then all the comments are, "Oh, you're a prick. Oh, well, you can't argue with factual information. You don't want to have no call. Oh, you're a Spurs fan. That's a go-to one." But they've been programmed over years and years and years. Yeah, I've said this so many times, right? If you hear a phrase or a word 500 times, you get a new neurological run in your head, pathway in your head, that now you remember that word or phrase. Roadmap, infection rate, trust the process, youth project. It's true though. Trust the process. So now people have been programmed because they've heard it so many times. Trust the process, trust the process. So now, as soon as you say something that they don't agree with, trust the process. Tell me why I should trust this. Somebody, please. I've been waiting since he's got the job for somebody to tell me why I should back this. And I've also been asking, when is it acceptable for us or for me or people like me that don't rate this manager and don't think this club is doing what it should be or could be doing? Yeah, fair enough. This summer window's been decent so far. I'm not going to knock that. But my point is, we have not won a league title for 19 years. We have not won in Europe for 29, and we have not won a single trophy for over 3 years. And look at everyone having a song and a dance and making up new songs for this player. Like, everyone's happy.
Let me ask a question,
process. What? Do
you not think, though, for instance, with AFTV, right? They have created, I think they've changed how they're perceived as a channel over the recent years. They used to be perceived
100%. I know why as well.
So, but I think they've become far more positive. They challenge things still on there. I've seen people call stuff out, but it's far more positive. It is fun. There's a vibe there. Do you not think the vibe coming from Arsenal fans, including a lot of the people on AFTV, is what's help make the feel-good factor and the family factor at Arsenal so much better, which put you into a title race, and in my opinion, has now put you back to being one of the top teams in Europe.
Do you know what? I feel like
that's played a part. I feel like that's played a part in it, brother. And I think if you got involved, I think if you went down and met Cecil and joined in with the dancing, joined in with the vibes, had some fun. Lee, if you had some fun, Arsenal might win the league. If you had fun, Arsenal might win the league.
Terry, if my aunt had bollocks, she might have been my uncle. Who knows? Like, at the end of the day, right? The reason the feel-good factor at Arsenal is there is because the amount of peddling of PR for this manager and for every one of these players, yeah, not only that, nobody was allowed to go to games for 2 years. Yeah. So obviously now they're going to enjoy it a lot more. Oh, the stadium's louder? Well, of course it is. It's louder in every stadium. Because now fans are more like, oh my God, well, I don't know when I can't go again. Might not be able to go again soon. You never know what's around the corner. So everyone's going to have more fun and make it more of a relaxed state, which is exactly what they want. They don't want to win. If you got 100 different Arsenal fans randomly in the street and said, what's the expectation? What do you demand Arsenal do? What would define a good season next season? Just random 100 Arsenal fans. Yeah, I'd say maybe 5% of them would say win the title, otherwise no more. Yeah, the rest of them say, well, get out the Champions League group, get as far, maybe round the 16 or quarters, maybe have a cup run and secure Champions League football again. And that is exactly what this club want, which is why they don't ever go and do what's required to go and win the title. Yes, we were in a title race. Cool, great, fantastic. And what? We was in a title race against Leicester and didn't win it. And we've gone back to that same level from 7 years ago. Look, and let's be real, Wenger was hounded out of this club, and I was part of that, going on marches and all that with banners and that. Yeah, but let's be real here, Terry. Look at the difference between a manager who did deliver success, not as regularly as he should have, but he did deliver success. Look at the way he was hounded for finishing second to Leicester. Yeah. And he spent 810 million quid in 22 years.
I do get that, though. I think the fundamental difference is that there's a feeling amongst these positive Arsenal fans that you're moving back towards winning the big trophies. Where with Wenger, the feeling was we're slowly falling away from it. And I feel like that's why there's a difference. But I want to go to some of these super chats here. And this is quite a good one. And it says, can we do a bet? If we win the Prem, a special episode of League Gunner karaoke on TFT singing Rice, Rice Baby. No, I've got better one. If you win the league this year, if you win the league this year, I'll donate £1,000 to charity if you come and make the same video Cecil G did and dance outside the Emirates. £1,000 charity. You got to do the front flip at the end and everything onto your legs. I know you're like 40 on that.
Mate, I'm in my 40s. I can't move like that anymore, Terry.
I like that super chat. This year says, Lee is right. We are Arsenal. We should have high standards. We are not Spurs, just happy with good football. Havertz crap. Get 15 GA and prove us wrong.
Absolute facts. And that's the thing, yeah. This is another thing. Oh, but he's here now, so we'll back him. Excuse me. Go and have a look at PSG fans when they signed Lucas Hernandez last week. You're not welcome here, and we will show you. Look what they've said about Dusan Vlahovic. You ain't signing for us. We're chopping your fingers off, mate. Their ultras have actually said that. Yeah, but I'm toxic and negative for demanding to win a title, sitting on a YouTube channel. Yeah, this shit don't happen in any other country other than England. It's true.
This here says, as if a dance by a fan group has anything to do with what happens on the pitch. Get over it, dinosaur. This isn't the 90s anymore.
Well, exactly. It ain't. And thank God I've seen proper players, mate. Thank God I've seen Arsenal win 17 trophies in my lifetime.
This here says Lee loves a good karaoke session.
The last time I did karaoke was about 4 years ago. No, about 3 years ago. I was in a pub around the corner with my pal.
I don't mind a bit of karaoke.
I can't sing, mate.
Oh, me neither. I love it though. All these losers in the comments crying about Lee. Everybody know Lee has the rhythm of Lukaku. Maybe. This here says
I'm not that stiff, mate. I've got a better first touch as well.
Joey says here, Lee Gunner is the fan that would complain if we won the league, saying we didn't win, we didn't hit 100 points, or we didn't
I get comments like this all the time. It's the standard programmed football fan that is the perfect customer for Arsenal Football Club. How about do it and we'll see? How about that? How about win the league and then we'll see? Lee would win. Lee would moan even if we won the treble. We'll win the treble and we'll see them, won't we? If you have this much energy for demanding more success at this football club than you do putting crap in the chat to me,
we wouldn't have got 90 years without winning a trophy. If they get money spending spectators in the stadium, they get more money to spend. By the way, when is the 70% squad spend FFP in effect? I think that comes in a year after next. It's coming soon. This is Lee.
Technically, he was right, by the way. Yeah, more money spent, but then it depends what you're spending it on. Because if you go and spend it on an Adidas Arsenal shirt, the club only get about 5% of the money. Because they've already been paid the money. But yes, it won't necessarily help to read.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, the Conkeys have done 640 million.
Jeez.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to keep going in that trajectory and get past $1 billion in the next 2 years? I'm not so sure. Because I see something the other week. I think it was Ornstein. So you have to take that with a pinch of salt.
Ornstein, baby.
He was the same guy who said we kept good relations with Brighton, and now he's saying that we didn't. Yeah. PR good at the time because we missed out on Caicedo and signed Jorginho. But now we've signed Rice, we can throw that one out there. Yeah, come on. Yeah, I'm wide awake, mate. Yeah, and the funny thing is, I think it was Ornstein. And if it weren't, it was The Athletic saying that this will be the last big summer spend from the Conkeys. So is that PR to say, oh my God, this is the last time because they're going to try and strip back and get some money? I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. And people bang on about why do you always mention PR? Just Google how much money is spent on PR every year in the UK. Yeah, and I guarantee a large percentage of that 4 billion quid is spent by fucking Arsenal Football Club. It's crazy. Sorry, it's crazy, isn't it? Let's be real, right? Why have we gone on tour again to America? Why haven't we gone to Africa?
Money, bruv.
Exactly. Thank you.
Oh, that bit's definitely money. There's no doubt about it. Breaking news: Man United. The pictures have now come out. Rashford has signed his new deal at Manchester.
You're going to say Jonny Evan's holding the shirt.
No. Very, very happy there for my Rashi, my lovely little Rashi.
How much is he getting paid, Sel?
325,000 a week.
If I could go back in time, I would definitely have tried to play football a lot better. 320 grand a week for that.
Shane says, well, he's one of the best left inside forwards in the world. So yeah. Lee, you forget we live in a social media world now. That video doesn't bother me as long as the club wins trophies.
Which it won't, and then nobody holds it accountable. So it's like, I'll give another example. He's right, but we have to win now. And if we don't win, nobody's going to go back to that. Right. So last season, when we're throwing away all the cups because we've got bigger fish to fry, yeah, that was another one, wasn't it? You heard that over 500 times. So now you're mimicking it to everyone else that don't think you've got big, like that wants to win everything. Yeah. So last season, when we're throwing the cups away, yeah, when we lost to Sporting Lisbon, but it doesn't matter unless we don't win the league. We can throw, but now we're going to win the league. Don't just be happy. We're top. So as soon as the season ends and I go, right, well, what about the FA? Oh, no, don't worry. We're going to sign players. Round and round we go. Doesn't matter. We'll go again next season. Like, come on. There's no accountability here, Terry.
This is take it easy on the Snowflakes, Lee. They are butthurt. This is remember when Lee lied about Simeone wanting Joao Felix just to have a dig at the January window. Well, he just gives his shirt number away.
And how do you know that's Simeone that's giving it away?
Well, Simeone should walk, shouldn't he?
Well, he should, yeah, if he don't agree with it.
If you don't, he's a bad manager.
I don't agree with it, but we all know in Spain that the president of the club runs the club, not the manager. Yeah, let's be real. Yeah, how many times do you hear Florentino Perez speak every week? Yeah, when's the last time Stan Kroenke or Josh Kroenke spoke?
True. Lee reacts after watching Kai Havertz's first match will be a must-see TV. Worst bottle job and club acting like they won something.
No, do you know what's going to happen, mate? You know what's going to happen? He's going to score a couple of goals against Luton and Forest and like score one in a big game here and there. Yeah, and everyone's just going to go, oh, look at him. He was misunderstood. Just back him. He was misunderstood at Chelsea. Everyone was crap at Chelsea. That's another one. Yeah, I think you're forgetting Chelsea Football Club didn't form last season. He was there for free. Like, come on, mate. Like, it's crazy.
This says Lee Gunner is the type of fan that would go to see a therapist and the therapist would quit because he won't reason why or who hurt you, Lee. You are not happy with what
that's another thing. I'd love to try and dismiss you. I'd never go to a therapist because that is the biggest scam, yeah, in any profession. You go in there, oh, I feel this, I feel that, I feel that. Don't worry, it's fine. Let it all out. Breathe and come back again and give me another 200 quid next month. Like, they never get you better. Let's just be real with it. Yeah, it's crazy. Therapists are the biggest scam ever.
Some breaking news here from Graham Bailey. Chelsea are considering a move for Harry Maguire after losing Wesley Fofana. Hey, hey! This is Chelsea fans right now. that could also go for all the people in the chat saying they can't stand me but are still watching me. It's happening, baby. Do you know what I love though about Maguire moving to Chelsea? Even look, Man Utd have done it with Mount, Havertz to Arsenal. You know that there's players that you can rate, and then they go to a rival club and you go, actually, I never rated them. They're rubbish. When you've spent weeks, months, years slagging a player off like a Maguire, and then you sign for him, it's almost like, where do you go? What do you say? It's crazy.
Just do what Arsenal fans did with Shai Havertz, mate. Well, he's here now. He's wearing our shirt. Just back him. He was misunderstood. If we can get his Leverkusen form back.
Rory to win this weekend. Come on, you Gooners. Who's Rory? Jennings? I don't know. There we go. Lee, who do you want as a striker, CM, right winger?
Striker, just go and buy Harry Kane. Fuck it. Give him 100 million.
Hey!
I know, but let's be real. Because this club ain't going to go and buy what I want. So it's kind of irrelevant the players I want. But I go either Kane or Tony. CM, Caicedo. And right winger, that's an interesting one. That is an interesting one. I want right wing. There's one that's really screaming out at me.
No,
if I'm being honest. Who?
Yeah, I'm the same. I can't
There's
think
not
of
really
it.
a right winger that's screaming out at me because there is a lot of good right wingers, but not one that I'm like. But yeah. Man said Mahrez. Big up Tone. Mahrez is going Saudi, bro.
Yeah, you ain't getting him.
But the thing is, Bukayo Saka's not going to miss many games because this manager overplays him. Yeah, and he's going to play every single game pretty much. So we're not going to buy a right winger because we signed Reece Nelson up.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that, bruv. I hear you on that. TFT, best content around Terry's head switched on. Thank you, Bazza. I appreciate that, bro. Remember when Lee bashed Arsenal fans for wanting Caicedo because of his exotic name? Now he's Lee's top target.
Can you send me the video where I did that, mate? Send it to Lee Gunner 82 on Instagram so I can see it because I don't ever remember saying that, mate. So if you can send me the footage, that'd be fantastic. Otherwise, it's just a throwaway comment, isn't it, mate?
Lee, where do you reckon Arsenal will finish? ITL and I think it means Premier League. It means in IPL
in the league.
In the league and Champions League with transfer business as is.
As it is now, we ain't winning the league as it stands now. We ain't winning the Champions League. So we've lost. Simple as that.
Lost. We're just losing.
Well, we've lost. If you don't win, you've lost. So, yeah.
There we go. Sharek, one of our members, says Lee did not bash Caicedo. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember that personally.
No, these people love to make their own stories up, mate, because it makes them feel better.
There
they can't argue with facts.
There we go. Listen, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who's tuned in. We'll be back me and Lee Nick this time next week, but back with more content tomorrow for you. Please hit the like button before you leave. Please subscribe to the channel as ever. Make sure you've got the bell notifications turned on as well. Lee, always a pleasure to speak, mate.
Thank you, mate. Big
up. Everybody else, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you.